What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One Eye Bri, back to talk about The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to talk about some things that if you don't know about the comics and the show and you're worried about spoilers, just stop watching. Spoiler warning. Now, obviously, from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about Alpha, the Whispers, Beta, comic stuff, show stuff, Rick, Daryl, and a couple other topics. Maggie, what Lauren Cohan said about Maggie returning, and I have to put this out there. I love Season 9 as it is. Rick going away. But when I heard that Rick was on set, he met Ryan Hurst, he probably met Samantha Morton, he probably met some of the people on set when he was behind the scenes. Is he learning to be a director? Because the word is that he's going to be a director on Season 10. And now that Season 10 is greenlit, it could happen. And the more I look at this picture, I just think he's mesmerized by the smartphone. I could see him having a flip phone, and I believe Chandler Riggs said that Andrew Lincoln does have a flip phone. He's like, wow, that's a smartphone. But Rick's gone, and we have Daryl. And just to be clear, I love Daryl. I love Michonne, I love Carol, and I love Season 9 as a whole. But part of me is like, I wish this was Maggie's part, because it's supposed to be in the comics. It would be cool to have Maggie's interaction with Alpha, and I hope Alpha has interaction with another character. Is it Carol? Is it Michonne? Or is the storyline always going to be with Daryl? I personally hope it's with Carol, and I hope Carol takes out Alpha, because that would be pretty awesome. But we'll see how it plays out, and I do like Norman Reedus and Daryl, just to put that out there. But Maggie is going to be back in Season 10, hopefully. The word is that Lauren Cohan said, I'm not done on The Walking Dead. Maggie's story is not done. Well, right now we only have Season 10, so I would hope and think that Maggie will be back in Season 10, hopefully for the Whisper of War, to save the day. Maybe Michonne leaves and Maggie comes in, so when Michonne's gone, Maggie comes back to have bigger parts on the show for a handful of episodes, because the word is that Michonne's only going to be there for a handful of episodes. But what do you make of this? Do you think it's the same shirt? I think it is. I think it's setting up maybe that Lydia's going to be at Hilltop wearing that shirt, and Maggie's going to be like, who is this chick? You wearing my shirt? What are you doing? Who is this chick? I go away for 10 minutes and this place is falling apart. We got this new group, the Whispers. Man, I can't ever leave this place. I don't ever want to leave the Hilltop because I got to run this place. We lost Jesus. What the heck is going on? I better be staying my butt at Hilltop. Come on, Maggie. You better not leave. But all seriousness, Rick and Maggie left in Season 9, Episode 5. And we got a pretty good goodbye, a decent goodbye for Rick Grimes, but really no goodbye for Maggie. They were like, yep, Maggie's gone too. That was her last episode. And we're like, okay, that's a little much, but Rick Grimes should be back for the movies. He's probably not going to be back on the TV show. And I remember when we were talking about the introduction of the Whispers and how they're going to do it, and a lot of people, including myself, thought that Rick would die. But they want to keep the character alive for movies, for spin-offs, for something else. The Rick Grimes character is very important to The Walking Dead, and to be honest, the show is still very good without him on it. Now, we lost Jesus, and I thought possibly that Rick would die in a similar fashion like how Jesus died, introducing the Whispers. Or at least Rick could have got injured and tossed into the water and then went downstream and then picked up by Jadis and left that way. The introduction of the Whisperers would have been by Rick. We still would have had Jesus. We would have been able to have Jesus fighting Beta, which I got to clarify, guys. When I talked about the Bruce Lee martial artist fighting discussion, it was about Jesus fighting Beta, like in the comics that we're not going to see. And I still think that would be one of the best fights. But the size of Jesus and the size of Bruce Lee is what I was talking about. Size doesn't really matter that much in a fight, especially when someone is a highly trained martial artist and one's like a scrapper fighter. I don't think Beta is going to be the best fighter, but we're not going to get that. We're going to get Daryl versus Beta, and so that was what that was. I hope the Beta-Daryl fight is great, but I also hope that Aaron gets a chance to fight Beta, because remember, Jesus taught Aaron some things, so maybe that could carry over, and that'd be pretty cool, because Aaron's still alive on the show, and Aaron is connected with how Beta dies. He's connected there. Aaron and Jesus both kill Beta, so it could be Aaron and someone else. But Rick left the show in episode 905, and then the Whisperers came around, and then we saw Lydia, Alpha, and Beta. And I personally would like to see Rick interact with Alpha. And I don't think it's going to happen in the movies. I'm not sure if the Whisperers are going to be there or not, because I don't know much about the movies. Gimple has said little things about it, and he said it could connect this way, and it can go this way, and go that way. It could be international as to where Rick goes. But I'm going to talk about where I hope Rick went, and it would be pretty cool. It's kind of a full circle turnaround from prior seasons, and it would make sense if they did that, but we have to wait and see. But Rick got to the chopper and left with Jadis and went somewhere. Did they go to Ohio? Pittsburgh, DC, international, on a boat, on a Walker Stalker cruise, aircraft carrier, I don't know, but he's an A. Nope, he's a B. I never had one. What does A and B mean? We have a whole video talking about that. But I'm excited to see where the connection is. Rick, Jadis, possibly Heath, A and B, some government group that's working on some cure or something. And I don't know about you, but I need to see Rick reunited with Michonne, Judith, and Daryl. We'll have to wait and see. But I believe the radio is going to play a key part at some point. It would be pretty awesome if they end season 9 with a radio call that is picked up by the radios at Alexandria. If you know the comics, that happens with Eugene and a woman named Stephanie in the Commonwealth. I don't know if that's where it's going with the movies and the show, but they brought up the radio several times. They brought it up recently, last episode. They brought it previously in the first half of season 9, and they brought it way back in season 8 about the radios. Now, if you know the comics, you know the radio is a big connecting point for the Commonwealth. Is it too easy and too obvious to connect with the Commonwealth? On the show, it looks to be Father Gabriel. In the comic, it's Eugene. Father Gabriel could get the radio connection, but it could be Eugene as well. Father Gabriel saw the radios, the ham radio back in season 8. It was starting the foreshadowing potentially. They like to plant that seed and then come back to it at some point. It started in season 8, the first half of season 9, and really Father Gabriel has been connected with it. Father Gabriel and Rosita. Now, I'm not sure if Father Gabriel or Rosita or Sadiq or Eugene or anybody are going to be picked from this group for the Pike lineup. But it would kind of suck if it was Father Gabriel and be like, oh, well, who's going to find out about the radio, or who's going to be connected with Jadis and the radio? Because they build it up with the frequency, putting it out there, amplifying the signal and trying to put out the relay to reach further and further away. And hopefully they're successful here. I think they would be, right? But Eugene, Rosita, and Father Gabriel were all connected with that. So at some point, it's got to make sense that they get a message out or in about something, right? I wonder if it's going to be with Rick. But like I said, Rick and Maggie went away in season 9, episode 5. And Maggie potentially will be back in season 10. But like I said before, if you're not familiar with the comics, the Daryl interaction with Alpha outside Hilltop is with Maggie. That was changed because Maggie's not there. We're supposed to have another interaction if they go by the comics. And the show is the show and the comic is the comic. I know it's differences for sure. But there is a big interaction and dialogue between Alpha and Rick. Is that going to happen on the show? Or is it going to be changed or different? Since Rick went away, there's been a lot of question marks. Since Carl went away, there's a lot of question marks. Since Glenn went away, there's a lot of question marks. But Carl went away and people were like, how is it going to happen with Lydia now? Well, we have Henry and Lydia. Since Rick went away, we kind of have Daryl with Alpha. Since Jesus went away, we're getting Daryl with Beta. Since this went away, no, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let's talk about an interesting theory where I believe Rick could have went. And shout out to Jesse for this theory. Let's talk about Shane for a second. Way back in season 1 and season 2, there was Shane Walsh. And a lot of people love Shane. A lot of people hate Shane. I personally like Shane. And if you remember, Shane wanted to go where? Fort Benning. And what if the helicopter that Jadis is connected with, the A and the B's, goes to Fort Benning, Georgia? That's not out of the question. Because one, they filmed The Walking Dead in Georgia, and I'm guessing they're going to film the movies there too. So why not film around in Georgia? Fort Benning would be pretty awesome because what if Rick decided to not go there and that place is going to save his life? And I personally hope the movies connect with the show on so many levels. Easter eggs, connections, callbacks, flashbacks, going forward, going back, connects on all levels. And with 3 movies, you can do that. But that would be pretty awesome if the show goes back to around Georgia, Atlanta, Grady Memorial's there. There's all these little cool connections. When The Walking Dead was great, and really the first 5-6 seasons, why not go back to that when The Walking Dead was great? I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know where the helicopter is gone. That's just a theory because they're in DC. Well, somewhere in Virginia close to DC. And if we think about it, the helicopter has only so much gas. So the mileage is a concern, right? They would have to be able to go there and come back. So if they go to Pittsburgh or Ohio, I don't know how far Fort Benning would be, or into the water. It's just a thought, but I would love to see that. How about you? Let me know your thoughts. But like I said, I like season 9 a lot. It's definitely up there right now. It has potential to be probably a top 4, probably 5 season of The Walking Dead. And I believe the big 3 are killing it. Michonne, Daryl, and Carol are definitely carrying the story since Rick went away. And I'm okay with that. I wish Rick was still alive on the show and still part of the story, but the new characters, Judith, the big three, they're doing a good job. And I don't feel bad for people who gave up on it. People still complain to this day. The show's dead. Just cancel it. Stop watching it. Why are you talking about a show? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I hope Judith is actually the future of the series. And I actually hope it's Kaylee Fleming is going to be Judith for a long, long time. We'll have to wait and see. We got the time jump so they could age Judith basically after Rick went away. But do you wish this happened or will happen on The Walking Dead? And part of me does, but I'm okay with where the story is right now. I'm okay that Alpha and Lydia and very soon Beta will interact with Daryl. But I hope that the next big interaction, if you know the comics, you know it's when Alpha brings Rick to their storage facility of walkers, basically. And she's like, I can unleash this group of walkers on the hilltop and communities and you'll be in big trouble. Will it be Carol? Will it be Michonne? I can't wait to find out. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories. And as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.